class. Today we are going to study about arithmetic sequence, and sometimes it is called arithmetic progression. So in this lesson class, before we proceed to finding the formula or equation for the last term or the a sub n or the nth term, we are going to have this example first, so that we will understand the concept of finding the last term, finding the difference, or finding the n or number of terms of our arithmetic sequence. Okay, so let's have this one, number 1 class. But before we proceed to number 1, let me have this one, a sub n equals 3n plus 5. This formula class or equation is the formula or equation for finding any term of our sequence. For example, if you want to find the 420th term of our sequence, so we can use this formula. So we have here a sub n equals 3 times n plus 5. So in this formula class, take note of the numerical coefficient of n. And usually, this numerical coefficient is the difference of our sequence. Now, when we have the example already, I'm going to show you what is that d or difference. So, find the first 3 terms of our sequence in which the formula or equation for the last term is 3n plus 5. So I'm going to put here 1, 2, and 3. This is our n. So what is the number here? What is the number here? Second term, the third term. 1, 2, 3. So we are going to use this one, and this one is very easy because this is just like evaluation of formula. We're just going to substitute 1 here, the 2 afterwards, and the 3. Then we have the 3 terms. So let's have the first term. The first term, it means a1 is equal to 3 and 1. Because this is the first term, plus the 5. So we have a to the first here is equal to, we have n1 is 1, plus 5. So we have 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Therefore, our first term, n is equal to 1, is 8. Okay. If that one is 8, then we can just have the 3, which is the difference. So we can have 8 plus 3 is 11, and then 11 plus 3 is 14. But I'm going to show you how we compute that one. Okay, so I'm going to erase this one again, class. We are going to compute for the second term. For the second term, we write this one is not n anymore to the second because we are computing the second term is equal to, we have 3 and our n is 2. So times 2 plus 5 here. So we have here 3 times 2 is 6 plus 5. We have 6 plus 5 is 11. So this one is 11. Now you see, class, this one is the difference. When we have already a number here, we just add the difference 3 and we have 11. That is the shortcut. So we know the third term without using this equation anymore. We just add 3 to 11 and we have 14. Okay, but I'm going to show you that one using our formula or equation for the last term. So I'm going to erase this one again, class. So we can write here. Now I'm solving for the third term. So this one is a to the third. So we have 3 times, that is 3. So we put 3 here, plus 5. So we have 3 times 3 is 9, plus 5 is 14. So let's see. It's the same. You know how to compute for the term. You know also how to use the difference. When you have the difference, you just get the first term and then you add the difference and you have the second term. Now to be sure, you can compute and then compare. Maybe that one will be your checking. 8 plus 3, 11, 11 plus 3 is 14, 14 plus 3 is 17. That could be your checking and this one is your solution. Okay, let's have number 2, in which we are finding the 30th term, the 31st and the 32nd. 31 and right, 32nd, 30th, 31st, and then 32nd. You have to put that PH there. Okay, I'm going to erase class the upper part. But the formula is still this one. Okay, this one is the formula for this one. So here we have the 30th here, 31st, and the 32nd terms. So what is this number here? What is this number here? And what is then the 32nd term? So we're going to use that one for the first term, which is the 30th, not really the first term, n is equal to 1. So we have a, and then what is the 30th term? A to the n is equal to 3 times n is 30 now, not 1. So we have 50 plus 5. Okay. So 3 times 50 is 90 plus 5. So we have 95. So we know that this one is 95. Let's have the shortcut. What is the shortcut? We just get the difference, 3, then we add to 95. So we have 95 plus 3, so this one is 98. 98 plus 3 is 101. So that is how to solve the terms if we have already the formula or equation for the last term. The n here is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is the first term, second term, third, fourth, the nth term. If the nth term is given, for example, the 50th term, then we have a number there. Let's get the difference first. Find the difference D. So here, let's find the D. So this one is D. So 10 minus 4. You may write that one as 10 minus 4. So what is 10 minus 4? It is 6. When you subtract 16 minus 10, you will get again the 6. If you subtract the 22 and the 16, you still get the 6. Because the difference must be always constant. So it means that to get the next term, we are going to add the difference, which is 6. So let us check. 4 plus 6, 10. 10 plus 6, 16. 16 plus 6, 22. And if the question is, find the next 3 terms, then you just add. We don't need the formula anymore. So 22 plus 6 is 28. 28 plus 6 is 34. 34 plus 6 is 40. So these three numbers are the next three numbers after 22. So we don't need that formula anymore. But the difference, then you put here 6. That is our difference. And then write the first term. And how many terms? So here class, our first term here class, A1, is, you can easily see that one here. So that one, A1 is N1. And N1 is 4. So we start from 4 because that is the first term. And for the N, 50 also. Because we start from 1. We have A to the N. What is A to the N now? You can change now the N. You can find the 50th term. So it is not A to the N anymore. It's A to the 50. Is equal to, you're lucky because it's A to the first. Plus, what is the number of terms? Is 50. So we are going to write here the 50 minus 1 times, what is the difference? D, it's 6. So what is A to the 50? A to the 50 is still unknown. We are finding for that. Is equal to, what is A1? A1 is the 4. 4 plus, this one is 49 times 6. So let's have 49 times 6. We have 49 times 6. 54, gain 5, 24, 29. So this one is equal to 4 plus 294 is equal to 298. This is our 50th term. We have a sequence 8, 3, negative 2, and negative 7. When you see a sequence, always find first the D, because you can find the D there. It's there. So how do you find the D? The difference is 3 minus 8, negative 2 minus 3, or negative 7 minus negative 2. So I'm going to show you how to find the D, or difference here. So let's say first this one. You see, don't subtract 3 from 8 here. It's not 8 minus 3. It is always this minus this. This minus this. Okay? Don't forget that. So let's find the difference, because we will use the difference always. So we have here, I'm going to put 3 minus 8. And what is 3 minus 8? It's negative 5. So I'm going to write here negative 5 for the D. What about this one? How will you write that one? It's negative 7. And it is minus. But this one is negative 2, so we close that one in parentheses. So we have negative 2. This one and this one. When we open that one, it will be negative 7. Negative times negative is what? Like signs and multiplication is positive. So we have plus, and then this one is 2. Sign numbers, like signs, we subtract. 7 minus 2 is 5. Sign negative, because 7 is greater than 2. So we still have the same answer, negative 5. So we are going to use the negative 5 here. If the question is this one, find the 40th term, then use our formula. And what is that formula? I'm going to write A-N, okay, is equal to A to the first plus and minus 1 times the difference. If the question first is find the 40th term. A_n, A1, and N, and you have the D, complete 4. So AN, that's the thing we are finding. Question mark, wanna know. Do you have the first term? Yes, we have the first term there, 8. So we have 8 here. What about the N? That is the 40th term. This one is 40. What about the D? We solve that one, yeah? It's negative 5. So we have the given here. And then you put there. So we have AN, which is now the 40th term. So I'm going to change N to 40 because this 40th term is equal to, what's the first term? A1? 8. So we have 8 here plus, what's the N? It's 40. Don't forget to subtract 1 here. And the difference is here, negative 5. Because if you don't have the bracket here, then it will become minus 5. It's different. When you have the bracket, it is times. And this one is multiplication. It should be multiplication. So we have 8 plus we have 39 times negative 5 here. And this one is 8 PEMDAS. Do not add 8 and 39. So we have here 39 and then times negative 5. 9 times 5, 45, carry 4, 5 times 3, 15, and then you have 195. And then you have minus 195. Why minus? Because if you multiply positive 39 and negative 5, it will give us negative sign. Actually, this one is negative 195 because it's negative 5. Then we subtract. A to the n is now equal to, we subtract 8 here. So 7, we have negative